Hey, how's it going? You look nice today. Has anyone told you that?
They better have.
I want to talk about something. It's a story that normally I wouldn't care about because it involves sports, but for some reason this one hit me just right in the heart is what I wanted to say. It's about the Olympics in Paris in 1900 because they were just wild.
And when I say wild, I mean it. They had motorcycle races at the Olympics, a croquet event that only one guy showed up to. Oh, and for the shooting, instead of using clay pigeons like everyone did all the time, they used real pigeons. You know, like the ones that are living and alive.
But before we get to those, we have to do a little bit of background. Whoa, way too far. That's better. So the Olympics, as you and I know them, started in 1894 when this man and future gold medal winner Pierre de Coubertin, who was honestly just showing off having a mustache like that. I mean, damn. He founded the International Olympic Committee, or IOC. Also, if you're wondering what he won his gold medal in, he wrote a poem. I'm dead serious.
Look, I wrote a poem. For me? Oh, I shouldn't have.
The first games were held in Athens in 1896, and they were a hit. They had the largest international participation ever, and opening day drew crowds of more than 60,000 people. So the 1900 Paris Games should have been just as successful, right? Right? Nope. I don't know what they were smoking out of their baguettes over there, but damn, they went sideways with it. What if they raced hot air balloons? The games were held as part of the Paris Exposition, which sounds like when you get flashed in France, but is actually just a big world fair, and it totally eclipsed the Olympics. Events took place over 5 months, and most of the people participating had no idea they were involved in the Olympics. That's like sitting down to eat a hot dog next to Joey Chestnut. Jesus Christ. Paris 1900 is notable for being the first Olympics where women were allowed to participate. But only 22 of them did, as opposed to 975 men. So roughly the same ratio as like a Jordan Peterson event. What does he call a speech? A concert? Does he do concerts?
Up yours, woke moralists.
Some of the sports they chose for these Olympics were
whack as hell.
Like they had all the normal classic Olympic ones, but then they had a bunch that were never seen in the Olympics ever again. And there's really limited documentation as to like how these events were selected and how they were run. It's almost like the IOC is trying to bury them, which is weird because that would be the first time they've ever had like any sort of scandal. Okay, let's get into the weird sports.
Angling.
It's fishing. They fished at the Olympics. I told you it was a weird year.
Aquatics.
They had the normal swimming events, you know, freestyle, team swimming, backstroke, that sort of stuff.
Man, this guy knows swimming.
But then they added some weird ones. They had the 200-meter obstacle event, which is basically like the swimming version of hurdles. Swimmers had to first climb over a pole, then a row of boats, and then swim under a different row of boats. Here's a picture of Frederick Lane right after he won the gold medal, about to get absolutely spanked by that guy. I say gold medal, but he was actually given a 50-pound bronze statue of a horse, so. Next up was underwater swimming, which was probably so fun to watch. It's like the second event in the Tri-Wizard tournament. Like, what did everyone do while they were underwater? Funny how it's totally fine with J.K. Rowling for a man to transform into a shark.
Ha ha ha! I found a flaw in your anti-trans ideology.
Underwater swimming ended with Charles de Vendeville winning gold, Andre Six with silver, and Peter Lykeberg winning bronze. Even though everyone agreed that he was actually the best underwater swimmer, why did he not win gold? Great question. He swam in circles while everyone else swam in a straight line, and they like measured it as if everyone was swimming in a straight line. So I don't know if they like didn't clarify the rules or if this guy was just like a golden retriever.
Ballooning.
They raced hot air balloons. Cool.
Barcelona.
There were only 2 teams entered to play, Spain and France, and then France dropped out before the competition even started, so Spain won. Which is my preferred way of winning a gold medal, honestly.
Yeah, he's lazy.
Cannon shooting.
This one makes a lot of sense, because what more is a cannon than a shot put with gunpowder, you know? And what's more Olympian than shot put? doping, I guess. Something interesting I came across in my research.
Shot
put is actually the shortened name for it. The long form is shot putting this ball as far away from me as I possibly can. I think it's Greek.
Croquet.
Okay, croquet was actually hilarious because only one person showed up to spectate, and it was like this old English man who came all the way from Nice, and he was the only person who paid to watch croquet that year. Side note, at the 1904 Olympics in St. Louis, they played a different version of croquet called Croquet. Or roque. Basically, it's croquet, but played on concrete instead of on grass, which is the most American thing I can possibly think of. The only way they could make it more American is if you were losing, you get to shoot the winning team. Some wasp trying to get into my home. Stay out. Firefighting? Not a lot of info for this one, but here's what the medal looked like. The only rules I could find for Olympic level firefighting sound like the start of a Call of Duty mission.
A fire broke out on the 3rd floor of a 6-story house. The 4th floor and the stairs in the upper parts are impassable. People need to be saved on the 5th and 6th floors. Operate the rescues and the extinction.
Interestingly, France elected not to participate in firefighting, which is a decision that I feel like they probably came to regret.
Motor racing.
This event was basically just a bunch of different races, whether it was like a 2-seater car under 400 kilograms, or a motorcycle, or a delivery van. I don't know if you know this, but delivery van racing is actually still a really common event. It's called working for Amazon.
Thank you.
Pigeon racing.
I can't find info on what they gave the winning pigeon, but I do hope it was a really heavy gold medal.
Horse long jump.
That's real. They long jumped their horses. And it sounds like it should be a really good Olympic event, right? Like horses are huge, they can jump so far. But the thing is, the winner, Extra Dry, named after how I like my ginger ale, jumped 6.1 meters. Which is very impressive. That's really far. Until you look at the human record from that year, the guy jumped 7.2 meters. So, Extra Dry, you're slacking. Stick to what you know.
Stick.
Cause glue.
Golf.
Okay, so this event was won by an American woman named Margaret Eves Abbott, who died in 1955, not knowing she had participated in the Olympics at all, and not knowing she was the first American female gold medal winner. Don't worry though, she was given a porcelain bowl as a prize. Porcelain bowls are usually more of a punishment for me, am I right?
Tug of War.
Okay, this is one that I genuinely wish was still in the Olympics, because that would be fun as hell. It was interesting because the Dano-Swedish team had someone get injured right before they were about to
Tug.
and so they pulled a guy from the stands in who was like a sports journalist, and they won. I couldn't find much info about him, but I do hope he was wearing like a suit and tie. A gentleman's tug of war. Oh, but the real star of the show, the pièce de résistance. Pièce de résistance.
Shooting.
I love this event. Not because I love guns or anything, but because they did it so weird. So they were using clay pigeons for years and years and years at this point. But for some reason, for the Paris Olympics, they were like,
No.
we're not using clay pigeons. How about real pigeons? And over 300 pigeons died. Well, I guess now we know what happened to the losers of the pigeon race. What a whack sporting event. Who was in charge? Oh, right, mustache guy. Come on, man. You let your mustache get in the way of some good decisions? It is beautiful. The Olympics are again in Paris in 2024, and I, for one, hope they are just as much of a shit show.